Welcome back everyone to another episode of Matt and Jess Off Grid. On today's episode we're going to focus on some of the electrical on the truck. I'm going to try and get the rear tail lights wired up and then we're going to try and get the 2 winches installed. So I've got 2 winches down here. I've got the King's Dominator. I've got that for free off a mate and that's going to go on the rear of the truck. In this bag I've got a carbon 15,000 pound. That's going to go on the front of the truck. So it's a pretty long run to get the cables to the winches. So even the front winch is a bit longer than a standard run. The included cables that come with the carbon winch, I think they're about 1.8 meters long, so they won't quite be long enough to reach. The rear winch obviously is a very long run. Because the cables are such a long run, I've decided to up the size of the cables, because these winches, under full load, they can draw up to about 500 amps. Here's my box of bits for today. So I've got some 000 gauge cable, which is 85 millimeters squared. I've got some heavy duty lugs, and then I grabbed a couple of these isolator switches. These are sort of the heaviest duty ones I could find. These will get mounted in the box here somewhere so I can isolate the 2 winches. These are rated for 500 amps continuous, 2000 amps peak, so they'll be perfect for these winches. I got my mate Paul coming around shortly to give me a chop out with the wiring. He actually used to work at TJM installing 4-wheel-drive accessories and winches and all that sort of stuff, so hopefully with him here we'll get it done in no time. How easy was that? That just came off like that first go. There was no struggle whatsoever. I swear. And we got Paul.
Yeah.
No bike this time.
No bike. Still just as cold and miserable. No bike.
So the winch is a pretty tight fit in the bull bar, so now I've got to work out where to fit this solenoid box.
Easy have something come out here. Just have it sit here or something.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Mount this control box up here somewhere. I'll make a right angle bracket which will come off this cross member and then up and then bolt this here somewhere. I just drilled a few holes in this little bracket I got from the hardware. It's already galvanized so I don't have to paint it. This should fit like that. Just got to drill a couple of more holes in the plate. Someone didn't put the rope through before we tighten them up.
You're blaming that on me, aren't you?
Well, can't blame myself, so gotta blame someone.
Yeah.
I know the first thing Jess is going to say, get some black bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to.
We've got the rear winch sort of temporary mounted in position. Now we can start looking at where we're going to mount this solenoid box. Because ideally, yeah, we want to be able to get to that to plug the controller in, but I can always make up an extension cable or hardwire some controls to it, so I'm not too fussed. I just reused the existing bracket, just drilled a couple of holes in it, and it'll go straight onto a couple of bolts that were already there. Cables are plenty long to get to here. We're going to feed this cable along through the chassis rail. It'll pass through this cross member, along, I think up over this cross member, and then around under the chassis rail and into the box. Through here, I think.
Yeah.
Whoa. There we go. Bit of heat shrink and then that one's good to go.
Not going at all.
You having fun in there?
Hello. Actually not too bad.
Looks like you're in jail.
Yeah.
It's not the most flattering camera angle for the bald spot though.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, you must be getting a good view.
Gonna throw out the exposure values, getting too much reflection. I didn't just put this on backwards, I'm doing it for some other reason. That way, yes. Yeah, that looks better.
Because you turned it around 40.
We're back to where we were about half an hour ago. Still working out the length of this. I don't know what happened then, but technical difficulties. Halfway done on the first winch. I don't know what you're seeing on camera up there. That was very, very awkward.
It looks alright actually. It looks a lot better than I...
You sound surprised.
I do. No, it's good. Because we were so worried about it. No, it's like, that's pretty good inside. It's not...
That's about all we're going to get done for tonight. So we've got all the main cables run. We've got the rear winch pretty much completely done. So all the cables are run. terminated and all into here. Just got to connect the cables from the solenoid box to the winch.
Several days later.
I've just put the winch back in the bull bar. Just having a look at the clearance. So these terminals, they do sit pretty close to the back of the bull bar here. Like there's probably enough. I could probably slide a sheet of rubber or something down there just so it can't arc out against the bull bar. For ease of installation and for ease of maintenance, I might actually rotate this motor 90 degrees and bring the terminals to the top. And then, like, I've got ample clearance here. Gonna make it a lot easier to get my cables in. I've just taken the 2 bolts out of the end and I've taken the end cap off. And now I just need to rotate this motor. So I've just slightly pulled it out and now I've got to twist it 90 degrees. Make sure you don't pull it out too far or the brushes will spring off the rotor. And then it's a bit of a pain to get back on. Don't ask me how I know that. I didn't just do that and have to try and get them back on again. We've just pulled it out slightly from the body of the winch. Now we want to rotate it 90 degrees. And then you'll see in that little gap there is a little locating dowel. So you can't put it anywhere. You can only rotate it in 90-degree increments. That's in there. Now we put the end cap back on. Making sure we put the seal back on. Also making sure the little spring washer is in the end cap as well. Okay, let's put this winch back in, see if there's more clearance now. There we are. Now we've got the 3 positive terminals are now at the top of the winch. There's still 1 terminal on the back, but that's only an earth, so I'm not phased if that's close to the bull bar, because it really doesn't matter if the earth touches the bull bar, because the whole bull bar and chassis is earthed anyway. I'm going to install these battery isolator switches, and then I can finalise the length of the winch cables. There we go, 2 isolator switches. Then I've just got to get the positive cables from each winches to either the top or the bottom, and then I've got a big piece of copper bar. I'll put that one on there with a bit of heat shrink on the center. Winch 1 and winch 2, that's the off position, and then you just twist them, turn the winch on, and then twist them, turn the winch back off. Another lovely Victorian day. Rather than go to work and work in the rain, I've decided to work on the truck instead. So we're back in the shed. This is the high quality heat shrink that's got the glue in it. You can see a bit of the glue oozing out at the top. That's going to seal it all nicely and give it a little bit of extra strength as well. 2 down, 2 to go. So usually you would have a red, blue and a yellow, but because I'm reusing other cables because I needed longer ones. Won't be the right colours, but they'll do the same job. And the last one. This has been extremely awkward to get these cables through here. I've got all the cables terminated at the front, so now I've just got to bolt the winch in, hook up the cables, and that will be the front winch done. Finally, front winch is installed. It's all wired up. What a pain that was. That was way harder than I expected it to be. It was just very time consuming and very fiddly. Now the final piece to the winch puzzle. So we just got to put the fair leads on. So I've already got the front fair lead, which I made earlier. This is the one that's going on the front. And now I've just got to make up one for the back. I've just loaded one into the laser cutter. I've got my design ready to go. And we're ready to hit engrave. If anyone else is interested in a custom winch fairlead, send us a message, because I will be making and selling these soon. I've just got a shipment of them coming and they should arrive later this month. So if anyone wants a custom fairlead for their camper, 4-wheel drive or whatever, let us know. I could engrave your name, nickname, your car's name, your Instagram handle. I've got a whole list of funny ideas written down if you can't think of anything yourself. Eventually I will set up a website for making and selling things, but at the moment just hit us up on Instagram and I'll see what I can do. Hot off the press. A piece of resistance. The final piece of the puzzle. Although I might change these bolts for black bolts, or at very least take them back out and paint them black. I know Jess will complain about that. Okay, under the truck we go. And here's our control box. This winch actually uses a speaking connector. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's actually used in the pro audio industry for plugging in speakers to amplifiers. And being that I used to be an audio engineer, I've actually got some of these in my toolbox. So I could make up an extension cable and mount a female one of these plugged on the top of the bull bar. We have life. Perfect. There we go, both of the winches fully installed, all done. These are the tail lights I've chose to use. So we've got a separate reverse indicator and brake light. And then I've played around a bit with the arrangement. I found an arrangement that I like. I just laser cut out this template to get the alignment perfect and to get the mounting holes and the hole for the wiring in the perfect location. I've just got to clamp it on the back of the tray, drill the mounting holes, and then I can install these lights. Let's get to it. I've screwed in all the self-tappers, I've taken them all in and out, make sure that the threads work. That way I can just tighten them up firm without risking breaking the lights, because the lights are only plastic, so I don't want to go boring a self-tapper in, over-tighten it and crack the light. Let's test fit the lights, see how they work. I don't think these cables are actually long enough for the far light to pass through the hole. I'm probably going to have to solder on some extensions on these before I can pass them through.
It's so nice to get away, just for a moment, just for a day.
You don't need to see me do that all over again, so let's just go. Done. I'll bring all the cables out through the backside of the steel here. I'm going to mount these little boxes here. Bring the cables from the lights through into this box, and all the terminations can be in there out of the weather. Because I'm not using the factory lights anymore, I think I'll just cut these plugs off, and then I'll get a multimeter out and we'll work out what cable does what. Alright, let's do the one on the other side. Hey!
Right there, but it's not coming through.
Like a game of operation. The brake and reverse light reached, but the indicator was just that little bit too short. Soldered and shrink wrapped on some extensions onto these. All three lights are mounted back on, and I've got all the cables now running through on the inside. Well, here goes nothing. Done it now. No turning back. I'm just going to wire the lights up with these little terminal strips. Not really a great permanent solution. I need to be able to get the lights back off again to paint the tray. Once it's all painted and everything's finalised, then I'll solder everything. Let's get these lights going. Alright, we'll try Parker's. Yep. Brake. Brake is good. Indicator. Hey! We actually got it the right way around. Fluked it. And reverse lights. Yep. Everything appears to be working except the indicators being a bit weird. They're flashing really fast. They're going to need a load resistor to work properly. That's it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another video and we'll continue building this truck camper. Alright, see you then. Bye.